tenfold. Over and out. That's gon' make you fuck like a limbo. She said she not a, she an. Ooh, why you do that like that? It's a lot of money. Why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't getting too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back.
It's lonely on top of the throne. I ain't a king of the pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many milkers bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it slow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hawk with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Rings of the team, I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to the well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all I got. Walk the walk and talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Hand on my heart, no, I give it all I got. Walk the walk, talk the talk. Take it higher, that's a God. Never stopping, that's a must. Always winning, never lost. GPS, I never lost. GPS, I never lost. Who do it better than me? Yeah. Vision on 2020. Yeah. VVS, Clarity. Yeah. Banging on they, though they taking notice, taking notice, taking notice. Determination, laser focus, banging on they, though they taking notice.
Rick Rock, TikTok, West Hip Hop. Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen, yeah. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is. I get it. I got cleats on my feet, jersey on my back, helmet on my head, ready to attack like that. Down in Mississippi and New Orleans, Big Snoop Dogg got a Madden league. His team is off the hook and you don't really want none, but if you do, come and get some. See, tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Tell your mama and tell your daddy and tell the whole damn world this is Madden territory. Come get some if you want some, but you ain't bad enough, so you can't take none. I'm Big Snoop Dogg and I'm the only one, and when it comes to Madden, all y'all fools my sons. Haha, bag up off me and watch you lose. Snoop Dogg is on the mic, I'm giving Madden blues. And if you choose to run up on me, you gon' get laid out so fast, cause I can get you with the run or I can hit you with the pass. I can't be touched and I can't be schemed. Roll you when I'm in a mud league. 2-0, Madden time on you suckers. Y'all can't get close, so why you wanna touch us? Cause my team is so hard. My team is legit. Madden 20, Snoop Dogg is, now get it. Big Snoop Dogg, it's in the game.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the hit. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Let's see what you got.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys? Coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night, guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
I got it. Check. Run. Check hot route. Hot. Check safety. Check 37. What's that?
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be 2nd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
At the 29-yard line.
44, Mike. I'm trying to collect. Check 13. Check 13.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
180.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Back. 36. Up. Smooth.
Third and long for Mayfield. Looking deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Yeah, that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. This is a guy who made a Pro Bowl in his 2nd season, James Conner. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
They'll try and run for it with Conner. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Set, ready? 18 Gators. Replay.
Here comes a 1st down throw from Rudolph. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It looks like a nickel set now for the Browns on 3rd down.
It's a party now. It's a party now. 5. 58's the mic. Let's go, team. Let's go. 58, boys. 58. Come on. Go. Now.
Here's Rudolph. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Okay, ready? 44. Mike, 44. Watch the run. Hey, watch that. Hey, Haywood.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On second and goal, Rudolph escaping the pressure right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eric Murray. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
It's our time. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Shift, shift.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Get that ball. Hey, one set. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, 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 hey.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 13 forthcoming. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Mike, look at me. Go.
He's crossed.
Go.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Richardson able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
44, Mike, 44. Here we go.
3rd and long, it's Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Taylor now returning it. Now a hit and a loose football. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They begin this drive with Chubb. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. A big play that time out of Chubb. Give him 42 yards on the ground. The ultimate speedster, showing that speed in front of this home crowd. They love that.
Made me stand up on that run because right now all I want to do is wave to the crowd. More noise, more noise. You got to reward him for that one. A big-time monster run.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Good, strong run against the 3-4 set. And that 3-4, you got to have you guys up front eat up a lot of blocks. The guy playing over the center, the nose, he usually has to take on double teams. But when you're able to successfully move him, you're often able to get some yardage. And that's when linebackers have to clean up and make tackles.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Let's go, Heavy. Heavy, what you got? What you got?
Alert, 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 alert.
Give me something. Give me something. Here we go, here we go.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky.
Check three, check three, check three. Shift! Watch the shift!
Real.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Regular.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. So on fourth down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, Finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
80 weapon. Bravo. Ready.
On 2nd and 1, Rudolph loses the football. It's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Alpha.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
Ready.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Samuels. Larry Ogunjobi there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend.
Hey, Charlie, go.
Thumbs up the helmet. Here we go. 44, Mike, 44. Go.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph. He's going to let this one go deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
Slam, 61, matchbox, lights.
They'll run with Samuels. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Samuels, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
This time, the extra point up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll find Hall. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Keep it up, guys. Tight dog, tight dog. Hey, alert, 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 alert. King, king, king.
Now a carry here for Hilliard. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Landry the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He'll get that complete to the tight end, Harris. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
180. Real. 2 times, 2 times. Hey, we got 3 down, 3 down. Alert, flare, alert, flare, flare, flare. Alert, 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 alert. 26 Mike, 26 Mike. Hey, me and you all day. All day. What's that? I'm coming up. What's that?
Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Demetrius Harris, as the first half is winding down. And once again, the Browns are back in front. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is, his first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Right here. Check. Go on. Hey. Banjo. 58, right on.
Rudolph looking to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes this a 9-point game.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Now Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Now it's Rudolph. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
Point it right.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They give the Chubb out of the gun. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 6.
180.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Here's Jamie Gillen as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Switzer on the return. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete on the throwaway. It's third down and 9 yards to go.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Rudolph. And incomplete, a disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now fourth down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
What has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete. But you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
That's a gain of 7. Brings up 3rd and 3.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Mayfield. And he gets it to his running back, Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, high 7. Let's go. 44, Mike, 44. Hey, lock it. Slam.
And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. And that's going to leave them with just one timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back.
Ready. 18 Gator. Hey, 2. Here we go. 44 is the Mike.
Here's Rudolph. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To return is Taylor. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Double time. Hurry. 26 months. Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Now a give, right side. Hilliard, and they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here I come. Watch safety creep. Safety's creeping.
On the run, this is Hilliard. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
He was taken down by Mark Barron. A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Steelers 7.
Set, 180. Watch the run. Jam. Pistol. What's that?
On 2nd down now, Hilliard. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Browns on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
Run. Watch the whip. That's it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Joker. Say. Real. Check 26.
Hey, alert 33.
Now Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Mike's 54.
Hurry.
54. Drop deep.
Hey, one set. Check Mike 54.
They run. Chubb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
The Browns on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Seibert's kick is good. And that will give them a 12-point lead. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. Play action. It's Rudolph. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing on second and long. Rudolph. He'll get this one to Switzer. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you've got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
The Steelers on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. Back to throw, Rudolph. But it's brought in by Washington. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very solid gain of 27. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Out. Check. Look. Squeeze. Ready?
From the 50, it's Rudolph.
Check.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Steelers with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rudolph now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey! Roy! 44. Hey, Haywood! Wild Bill! 44's the mic. 44's Mike. Shoot!
Here we go on 4th. Rudolph. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
218, jump.
From the red zone now, Rudolph toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
44, 44, Mike, 44. Go!
Back to the air, Rudolph. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score. They do tack on the extra point as well, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Hey!
54 is Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, watch 54, watch 54.
On 2nd down, Hilliard. They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. Now a timeout called for by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd down.
Check, 48's the mic. Check, 48's the mic. Switch. Wide, get wide.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important 3rd down. Mayfield going to take it on the sneak, and he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
40, 180. Here we go.
Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing two things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So for Cleveland, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to turn.
I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine.